Hello, friends. How you doing? Good stuff. I'm going to start my set off with something very shocking for you. I actually don't like Oasis. A few Oasis heads in. Look, I got a bit of a... this is fun, isn't it? I got a bit of a... does have a job, but does do a bit of heroin on the side kind of vibe. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for train spotting with a pension plan. I got a name for this look. I call it a delinquent accountant. It's not really a joke, but it is fun to say, isn't it? Some of you may have noticed I'm a very bony fella. I'm a very angular man. Ex-girlfriend of mine once described a cuddling up with me as a cuddling up with a tote bag full of coat hangers. And it's out of order, isn't it? It's so out of order. And when someone says that, you got to be seen to be doing something about it. So I popped to the gym right now. I don't know if anybody here goes to the gym. If you don't, let me save you a little bit of time. I'll save you a little bit of money. It's a house of the sea. All right? First thing you see when you walk in my local gym is a big motivational slogan on the wall. It says, "Nobody ever said I regretted that workout." First thing you see, walk in the door, nobody ever said, "I regretted that workout." 6 feet along, on the same wall, defibrillator. Not fooling me, guys. A lot of liars in the gym, a lot of liars in fitness, fashion. You guys know there's a hiking brand called Trespass? Yeah. There aren't many rules in hiking. In fact, I say there's one thing you're not allowed to do when you're hiking. It's like having a swimming brand called Heavy Petting, man. I see a lot of people wearing Gymshark. I think it's very noble of a brand to step up and say, "We'll label the predators in this arena." Says a lot about you, what you wear, doesn't it? Gymshark, I'm a predator. Nike, I love children. Who work 18-hour factory shifts. Adidas, bit of a legend. That's what I don't know. Yeah, I don't go to gym no more, man. Because it's boring. I get my exercise walking my dog. I love walking my dog because you see things when you walk the dog. The other day, I witnessed a couple have their very first kiss. I could tell it was a first kiss because it was very clumsy. It was very awkward. I was getting closer towards it, and I noticed it was one of those kisses where both people involved had forgotten everything and everyone else around them existed. She had a hand on his chest. He had a soft hand behind the ear. And as I walked past them, I said, "Oi, oi!" I appreciate your laughter, I really do, but just to let you know, shouting oi oi at kissing couples is in fact a very important part of my culture. I consider myself ethnically Cockney. It's a very serious term. It means I was born in the East End of London to a family who are from the East End of London. But when I was a little boy, I moved out to somewhere very exotic. It begins with a Z and it ends with an X. If there's anyone well-travelled in, nobody ever gets it. Zone 6. We moved out to Zone 6, man. That's a cheap gag, isn't it? I'm the son of a bricklayer and a dinner lady, right? And they're both refusing to let go of their working class identity. Yeah, my dad came around my flat the other week and he said to me, "Who the fucking hell do you think you are?" After opening up my fridge and seeing a jar of pesto in there. I said to him, "Dad, 8 mile, I'm looking after it for a friend." He didn't believe me, man. He tried to sit me down and make me the whole thing in one go. It was awful, man. It was awful. I live in South East London now. I love living in South East London. It's nice and rowdy. It keeps me on my toes. I got on the 177 the other day. Schoolboy at the back of the bus goes to me, "Oi, bruv, you look like an ugly Jared Leto." And yeah. I mean, look. I think I got more of a CBBC Super Hands thing going on. But, you know, what do you say to a 14-year-old kid after you kicked him in the fucking sternum? It's very tricky, man. It's very tricky. My local high street, Deptford High Street, was recently voted London's coolest high street. It was unfortunately by Time Out magazine. It's a bit like getting a spud off your nan after you've had a threesome, isn't it? It's not sexy anymore, Nan. It's not sexy anymore. I started working in Knightsbridge recently. I'll tell you this last thing before I go. There is absolutely nothing funnier in this world than a posh person expressing sadness at a minor inconvenience, right? I got out of Knightsbridge Station the other day. I heard a bloke on the phone and he went, "Did you hear about Jonty? He lost a testicle." I said, "Oi, Thank you for listening.
What's happening, comedy virgins? Have you enjoyed the night so far? Yeah! Of course you have. You've been a good audience, people, and I appreciate that, because I ain't gonna lie, I've done this in front of some pricks in my time. Just the other week, I got halfway through my set, and someone in the middle row shouted out, "Fuck me!" Daniel Radcliffe let himself go. Then you all got glasses I can borrow? Can I borrow your glasses quickly? Is that cool, bro? Thank you, bro. What's popping, Muggles? You can't see, but I proper look like him. I've got 3 parts of my personality. I do this, I used to sell drugs, and I've got cancer. And my dying wish was to win the Comedy Virgin Summer Competition. So hey, it's in your hands really at the back, you know what I mean? Sorry, my cancer's playing up. No, I've been going to hospital. I found out only this year I've got cancer. I've been going to hospital since last year. And I've got to go to the Royal Free to have a checkup every week because I've got a rare type of blood cancer and they need to check my levels. And when I go there, the doctor, when I go to the clinic, he goes, "Gal, you stick to this medication, you eat well, this won't affect your life. Don't worry about it." And I walk in the clinic, I sit down, I look around. I'm the youngest one in there by far. Everyone's 65 years old. And I get upset. I think, "Gal, you're not going to last a long time, man. Just once I'd like a kid to walk in there." Well, I don't want him to die or nothing like that, so I feel better. How long you got, little man? 20 years. Big me up, big me up. Yeah. Marjorie, she made me feel shit, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I mentioned I was a drug dealer earlier, and when I retired, I didn't get a gold watch, but they did let me keep the company phone, so that was all right. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, bro. It's a job like any of yours. It's got ups, it's got downs. I didn't get a pension, but I didn't pay tax. I didn't work Mondays, but I got kidnapped. Whole time I was in the back of that van, I was like, "Gal, you don't work Mondays, mate. Don't worry about it." We want to see the kidnap story. I ain't done it once in the competition, but it's the final. Fuck it, why not? Right, I used to sell cocaine, and these boys, they come and took me from where I was staying, and they threw me in the back of a van, and they were like, "We heard you made 20 grand a week." I was like, "You picked me up from my nan's house." Like, nah, bruv. We heard you make 20 grand a week. You've got to call someone right now. I was like, "Right, fair enough. I didn't have no credit. They didn't have no credit either. I can hear them arguing outside for 45 minutes. I thought, fuck it, I'll lend them a £5. Here you go. When they found credit, they made me ring my uncle first. Now, I can't see what my uncle does for a living, you know what I mean? Kind of tasty. But he's dealt with it how the Americans deal with shit. So they rang him, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got your nephew here, Gary." He's like, "Yeah, don't negotiate, put the phone down, wallet, bang." Now, he's rang my mum, and my mum's rang the phone back. I'll give you context of my mum quickly. My mum raised 3 boys in a cancer state with no help. Yes. Plus, she stabbed my stepdad. Oh, took his appendix straight out. What? So she's rang the phone, they're passing it around the van. And she's like, "Put the cunt on the phone." And they're passing it to each other. She's like, "Put the dickhead on the phone." So they gave it to their leader. And she went, "No, my dickhead son, put the cunt on the phone right now." And they gave it to me. And I was like, "Yeah, mum, yeah." She went, "Gal, you best hope these cunts kill you because I will when you get home." She put the phone down. They had to get rid of me in the end because the van was a rental. That's what they did, just opened the door and went, "Go on, Gal, fuck off." I went, "You sure?" They went, "Yeah, don't worry about it." "Oh, that's sweet. Oh yeah, by the way, don't tell no one about this." I was like, "Don't tell no one about that, by the way." Fact, it might come and do it again, you know. In school, you could tell I was going to be a good drug dealer because I was always late. No, but do you know what? The drug community is a small community, a bit like the stand-up community. And when a new person used to start doing it, I could always predict how long they do it till they get arrested. Like, I'll give you an example. I'd be in the pub like this, my mate come up to me, said, "You hear little Jimmy shot now?" It's like, Jimmy's got 2 weeks in him. 2 weeks later, Jimmy got arrested. Another time he said, "Your little Bobby's shot now." I went, "Bobby's got a month in him." Month later, Bobby's in the neck. I was the one calling police on them, you know what I mean? Don't like competition. I mean, Gary,
you can probably tell I've been to A&E quite a lot recently. And actually, for the last time I went, it wasn't for me, it was for my little cousin Alethea. She fell off a bike. And they refused to believe that I was her guardian because she's like a tiny little Spanish-looking girl. And I look like Eminem if he lived in a bin. So she needed to be sedated before her procedure. And the doctor came to me and asked me, would I prefer he went with general anesthetic or 110 milligrams of ketamine? My mate Big Steve once took half that amount and he thought he was trapped in an espresso machine. 2 things, right? Firstly, why are we giving kids ket? It's only going to raise the prices. And secondly, why is a qualified medical professional with over 20 years of experience asking me, does this look like the face of someone who's going to turn down ketamine? So the thing is, general anesthetic can be quite triggering for kids, especially if they're being restless. And Alethea was understandably pretty upset because I was too weak to carry her brand new bike, so I just chucked it in a canal. But don't worry. She was fine in the end. She was fine in the end. But trying to be a bit responsible, I asked the doctor if she could try half and see how she feels. I'm glad a few of you laughed there because the doctor did not find that funny. And as I was leaving, I heard the doctor point over to the nurses and be like, "Can you please go prepare the lines?" It's like, the lines? I thought the NHS would be a bit more professional than making a 6-year-old snort up a big fat line of donkey dust. Turns out the lines are what they call the injection tubes. Bit of a misunderstanding. So I asked for my £20 rolled note back. And the whole thing was absolutely great. And actually it's brought us a lot closer together because now she's also into minimal techno. And I know where to get free drugs, and that's the real reason for this sling. Alethea's from the Spanish side of my family. I'm half English, half Spanish. And growing up speaking 2 languages has given me this like quite unique sounding voice, which in my head, I always thought I sounded like a sexy Latino lover. But in reality, my friends say that I've got the voice of someone who leaves comments on Pornhub videos. I will leave you on this. So I recently got my Spanish passport, and it wasn't what I was expecting, because on my English passport, my name's Dominic Burrell. On my Spanish passport, my name is what? My name is Luis Miguel Jimenez Garcia Borrell Zarza Martinez. Sanchez Ferreira Ramirez Lopez Enrique Iglesias Raúl Mendieta Xabi Alonso Iniesta Shakira Valencia, Santiago, Santander, Benil. What I'm trying to say through the medium of prop is that my name was completely different, right? The weirdest thing is that my mum completely got rid of the Dominic, my first name and my identity, and instead called me Luis Miguel after her really fat cat. Which I was fuming about because clearly she took one look at me and went, "Ha, massive pussy." Could have been worse. Whoa, like that. Her other cat was called Adolf, which I know a few moans, wildly inappropriate name for a cat, but it was Spain in the 1960s and it had a little bit of black fur just underneath its nose. And it only had 3 legs, so it was always leaning to the far right. But like Adolf, Luis Miguel's quite like a rare name in Spain because back in the 90s, it was the name of like a really lame singer. So it's like how these days, like no babies would be called Gary Barlow. But I did meet one Luis Miguel and he was buzzing when he saw my passport. He was like, he was a cashier at the Spanish embassy and he was like, I can't wait to go home and tell my mother that I finally found another Luis Miguel. Anyways, my name, amigo. How can I help you? And I was there to pay him £300 to change my name. It was the one time I wished I was called Adolf. But unfortunately, I'm not called Adolf. I'm Dominic. Thank you very much, guys. You've been amazing. Good night.